It was a long day that day, and my dad, my sister, and I were in the car riding home. I can't really recall where we were riding home from. I just knew that it felt wonderful spending time together. We had the windows rolled down. We were talking about nothing in particular on our way home to a small town called Glen Robbins, Ohio. Population 125, maybe if you counted the pets. That's how small it was. We passed the park and I knew that we were cresting the hill, and I was really just hoping that time would just start to stand still because I just wanted some more time with my dad. And it really did seem like time stood still because it was the longest journey ever up that hill to our house. And we pulled in the driveway, and when we went to get out, our dad said, "Girls," and instantly I knew, something must be different here. And he said, "Tell your mom I'm not coming home." I was 11. I thought he meant he wasn't coming home that night. I was like, "Okay, love you, Dad. Bye now." And he left. And after a couple of days, he didn't come back. And I started to wonder, maybe he's not ever coming back. And you don't really understand the finality of that statement when you're that young. I just knew that something had to be wrong with me. Because how could my dad leave me and never come back? I was his daughter. I was my daddy's daughter, a true daddy's girl. But he left, and true to his word, he didn't come back. And I struggled to figure out what was happening. I immersed myself in books just trying to escape my reality. And I learned that books were a great way to do that because they can take you to places you've never been, and you can just take yourself away from things. But guess what happened? It never went away. And I found out later that the reason he left was because he cheated on my mom with another woman, and he got her pregnant while they were married. And then it dawned on me, he left us because he chose another family. Maybe we really weren't good enough. And I spent years of my life in that mental battle of what is so wrong with me that a man just can't love me? What part of me is so defective that they just choose to cut and run? And that choice followed me into my first marriage, because when you wish for things, you got to be careful what you ask for, because history repeated itself. That man who was supposed to love me with everything, he cheated on me, and he got his girlfriend, I should say, pregnant while we were still married. And I was the one that turned out, everyone said, was not a good wife and was not woman enough to keep my man satisfied. And so the lessons they both taught me were kind of the same, but different. My dad taught me that he was gone, he wasn't coming back, and a father's love I searched for in a man that brought me to the brink of my knees. And I almost killed myself for him, and he wasn't worth it, and I didn't feel like I was worth living either. But the lesson remained true. If I could just find my self-value and realize that what my friend Ann told me, the defect isn't always in you, it's in the people that leave you and they hurt you, and you deserve to be loved. And God, he redeemed that. He brought my half-brother into my life when my dad died in 2011, and he showed me that I was worth living for and worth loving, and I deserved all of that. And God taught me that the painful parts of my life, they were worth living because he was eventually going to redeem them for a greater purpose than I could ever imagine. And life taught me that all the circumstances you go through, the bad, the good, the ugly, the fabulous, they provide excellent storylines, and there's always a story waiting to be told. And the saddest one is the one you never tell, and I'm not ever going to let that happen for myself. And my story deserves to be heard because God moved in me and made me someone completely different than that little girl that didn't know love, because now I'm his daughter and he loves me fully, and I can rest assured that everything I do for him is worth doing, and his love will never leave me, no matter what I do or what I say or how I fall off or pull away from him. He's loving me as a father always should.